Hi, this is Cece with Lily Bean Crafts by Cece. Welcome back, and if it's your first time, thanks for stopping by. So today I'm working on another V-split tumbler. I know it's something that I've been doing a lot lately. It's just what's been in my wheelhouse. This one is going to be a little bit different, so this is why I wanted to make a tutorial of it. So I am starting off by, I printed out on my Cricut a template of the 20-ounce skinny V-split template that I got from LEB Creates, which I will link in the description. And I'm using removable vinyl. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the hinge method to attach this template to this 20-ounce skinny that I have already prepped, cleaned, sanded, and I spray painted it in a dark gray because that color tone is going to work with not only all the glitters that I'm using as a base, but also to be what is shown underneath of the Crackle. And I'm using the removable vinyl because none of it is going to be staying on the tumbler. I'm just using it as a template to kind of divide all the different sections that I'm working with. Once I have it all on here, I'm going to go ahead and carefully remove the transfer tape, making sure that none of it peels up. But once again, it's just a template. It's not going to be staying. So if any of it peels up, it's okay. So one of the most important things of this tumbler is working with the Crackle that I'm going to be making. And Crackles can be amazing on tumblers, but they're a little bit frustrating when you first get started doing them if you don't do them properly. So I picked up this Crackle medium that I got. It's by Folk Art. I think I got it at Michael's. It could have been Hobby Lobby or Walmart. I really can't remember. But once you apply it, you want to make sure it is completely dry. I actually put this on and then I set it down and I let it dry for a couple hours before I came back to apply the acrylic paint over it. And I've learned from trying these over the years that once you're applying the acrylic paint, you want to make sure that you have enough acrylic paint on the paintbrush, which I am going to be using just a little flat paintbrush that I got from Walmart. Nothing extravagant with it. And you want to make sure that you put enough paint on there so that you can do one solid stroke down. You want to try not to go back over it. I do go back over it a little bit because of overlap and a little bit of it being a little thicker, but when you go back over it, it's going to peel the paint up. It's just the way that the Crackle medium works. So if you can, try to get it in one smooth move without going back over it again. And as you can see, I'm just taking my time, and you can already see when the cup turns around how the Crackle is already showing. So I'm just going to very carefully pick up any spots where it doubles over, and then I'm going to set it down and just let it dry. I'm just going to walk away from it and trust that it's going to dry the way that it's supposed to. Once it's completely dry, I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to spray it with some of my clear gloss sealant that I have from Rust-Oleum. Make sure that that's nice and dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and start working on the glitter sections. I'm going to go ahead and carefully remove this removable vinyl, and then I'm going to take some of my glitter glue and my little brush that I got from the dollar store, and I'm going to put a good cover of the glitter glue on to the tumbler, and I'm going to take Peachy Olive Glitters teal color Cece and apply this in this section. When this is got the epoxy on it, I'm going to be putting a semi-transparent floral vinyl over it so that you can see the glitter underneath it. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a really good coat of this on there, and then I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for 3 hours. So once I have this completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and put another coat of the glitter glue on here, and I'm immediately going to peel up this last piece of removable vinyl. I don't want any of the glitter to peel up once it is all dry, so I'm just going to remove that in advance, and then I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side and let it dry for 3 hours, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape off with my painter's tape the glitter section and the crackle section. Now, the crackle section, even though it's sealed, I'm going to be really careful with it. I'm going to take the painter's tape and rub it on my clothes to make it so that it's not so sticky. And then I'm going to go ahead and get it covered on there in a way so that I can apply the glitter next. And then I'm also going to go and apply the painter's tape directly to the glitter, which that is sealed in a manner that I know the tape won't pull it. So I'm not as careful applying the painter's tape to that side. Once again, I'm going to go in with my glitter glue and my brush from the dollar store. Make sure that I have it well coated. And I'm going in with Peachy Olive Glitters Glitter Color Autumn. It's just such a pretty color that really, really matches the teal and the white of the crackle. And it's going to bring all the fall colors together. This one, I just went ahead and I removed the tape as soon as I put the glitter on there. I'm going to put it off to the side and I'm going to let that dry for 3 hours. And then I'm also going to do a coat of the glitter glue over that last color of glitter to make sure that I have it all sealed. And now I'm going in with my first coat of epoxy. I'm going in with 20 mLs of my Flynn Sisters Fast Set epoxy. And what I like to do is I'm going to apply the epoxy straight to the crackle section first, making sure I have that all covered, and then go over to the glitter section. Once again, I made sure that everything was sealed, but I try to keep any stray glitters out of the crackle section. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for 3.5 to 4 hours, and I'm going to go right in with another coat of my Fast Set epoxy. I'm going to do 15 mLs for the second coat and let that dry for 3.5 to 4 hours, and then I am ready to move on to the vinyl section. About 5 to 10 minutes after I applied that last coat of epoxy, I'm going to go in with my torch and make sure that I pop any bubbles. Once you start working with vinyls, you want to make sure that you don't have to do any sanding, especially on something that's going to be transparent, because you don't want that look of the sanding to show up on your tumbler. So I got this floral, the semi-transparent floral, I think from Create by Firefly last year at TumblerCon, but I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of think that's where I got it from. And I'm just going to go ahead and I used a template that I cut out with cardstock from the V-Split, and I am just going to cut that out with scissors, and I'm going to use the hinge method to apply this floral to the tumbler. You can use any semi-transparent floral pattern to make this look beautiful. I'm using this really large squeegee that I got from the Bowen, and I'm telling you, if you don't have one of these yet, get one. This makes applying vinyl so much easier. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my trim on here, my edging. You know, it's something that I always love to do. So I found this like a burgundy reddish color permanent vinyl, and I'm just going to go ahead and edge that first, and then I am going to trim it all up. I'm going to keep it nice and clean, and then I'm going to go over it with a champagne textured vinyl that I got from Tech Wrap Crafts that I got from Amazon, and I'll link that for you. And I'm going to get all that edging put together. And I thought I got a video of me applying the decal, and I was not filming, so I don't have that. But just about every other video I've made shows how I apply my decals to my tumblers, so you can check back to any of those for reference. I did get the decal from Gracefully Created, and I will go ahead and link that in the description. And then I'm going to go with my final coats of epoxy. I'm starting off with 15 mLs of my Flynn Sisters Fast Set epoxy that I will let dry for 3.5 to 4 hours, and then I will sand down the entire tumbler, make sure I have it all smooth, and then go in with 15 mLs of the regular Artist Cure medium viscosity Flynn Sisters epoxy that I will let spin for 8 hours, and then it will be all ready. This is a tumbler that I created last year, and I wanted to change up the colors on it and make it more fallish. So it was so much fun to recreate it with these colors. I love the way that it turned out. It looks absolutely beautiful, and the person that bought it, she already received it and she loved it. And if there's anything that you would like to see me make, please post it in the comments. I would love to try to make some other kinds of tumblers. If you haven't done so yet, please check out my Lily Bean Crafters community page on Facebook, and have a good week.